friends, welcome back to this month's series, Harvest of Memories. And the theme for today is family history, to a website that has 31 different ideas about celebrating Family History Month. And I hummed and hawed about this last night. I even wrote in my journal before I went to bed. What am I going to do for family history? I don't have any photos. I don't have any... what photos I do have already been put up in scrapbooks. But I thought I would focus on a family story. So I have this catalog. It's from winter 1926. Oh, it's 100 years old. Oh my goodness. And my great grandparents were from Leicester City in Leicestershire in England. And this family story is that they were headhunted, essentially, from Leicester to come to Canada to operate a shoe factory. So I did a little research and found out that, and actually Leicester was like the center of shoe manufacturing in Britain at the time. Anyway, so I thought I might save that information by making a spread here in my journal. And I've got a couple of pages of shoes and whether I want to use... And the funny thing is their surname was Simpson. Simpson's, the Cadillac company, nothing to do with our family. But I think it would be nice to have that there. I also like the idea of warm winter footwear, though. Look at these fleece-lined Oxfords. You know what? Shoes haven't changed that much, have they? Triple E width shoes. Woo! Them some feet. Okay, get to work here, Nancy. We need scissors first. First and foremost, let's get some scissors going. So other things I considered was preserving a family recipe. But the family recipes I would preserve are the ones that I make for my kids. So that's not really history as much as it's history to be I guess, is what I want to say. So I think what I'll do is glue this down. and maybe put a piece of paper on the back. Or should I do it this way? No, because I don't want to cut Simpson quality in half there. I'm going to take just a smidge off the top, and I will use my rotary cutter so that I don't tear the paper, because it's 100 years old and it's newsprint. You know what would be really cool is if I had an image of a map of Leicester, but I don't. I already looked. So need a piece of paper. I'm going to use a piece of old ledger, I think. Yeah, that's the direction I will go. I was going to cut that off, and I think I'll just move it out of the way. I tried doing some research online, and it talked about the factory in St. Thomas being built in 1950. Well, yeah, there was a factory in 1950, but it wasn't the original factory. And it talked about having like 3 or 4 dozen employees, mostly women. But I found a photo of the staff from 1949, and there was a heck of a lot more than 3 or 4 dozen, and there was more than a few token men. Okay. I'm making a mess because I'm thinking instead of paying attention to what I'm doing here. Okay, so I want this to be 5. I'm going to move it down 1/2 inch so that this supports the bend. The crease, the fold. And of course, it's awful big. So I will need to cut some off. I don't know why I did it this way. I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of shoes they made. I don't know when my great-grandparents retired. I know that they came to Canada sometime in the first decade of the 1900s, because my grandfather was born here in Canada, but his sister, who's older than him, was born in England, I think. But he was born in 1911. And it just occurred to me this morning that he's been gone for 40 years, October 1st, 85, when he died. Now, from what I understand, my grandmother and my grandfather, clearly, lived with his parents for a time before the Second World War. And I don't know how well they got along. I think there was a period of time where she actually left and went back to the farm. And I'm not sure if it was because she wasn't getting along with them or she wasn't getting along with him. But interesting nonetheless. But they did eventually build their own house after the war and move. But then, so did the parents. I think I'll add some paper. Oh, I have a piece of... I'm going to make a pocket out of that. And it just occurred to me now, when Doug complains to me about the 5,000 pairs of shoes I have, I can tell him, look, it's in my genetics. I can't help it. And, yeah. Just get off my back. I would totally wear these. Totally. And these. And these. I used to have nursing shoes that looked like that, except they were white. But they had a little heel back in the day. I'm trying to think, how can I make this a little fancier? And I'm wondering about eyelets, thinking about the grommets, the eyelets that go in shoes. Sort of looking for part of a leg. Nobody will ever know. No one will ever know. So as you are watching this, I am probably on the road to Northern Climes for the first day of the girls' getaway with Alice and Joanne and Catherine. Good enough. Now, I'm going to cut that off. Wasn't 100% sure. And I'm going to make gusset on the side and the bottom. Hang on. I decided this is where I might do some eyelets. So I'm opening up the gusset, and I've already measured a row of markings to put my eyelets. So I'm just going to finish doing this and I'll come right back. So let me show you what I have so far. I don't have the strength in my hand to completely press these eyelets down, so I'm not going to glue this down until after I get Doug to do that for me, and then that will go right there. I'm making a journaling card. This is an old recipe card that had tape on it. I love it, but I'm putting this ad on. It can go in there. I'm going to do some journaling here, and probably put some more shoes. But I think that sort of concludes my video for today. I'll give you a full update tomorrow. And anyway, so I hope you can figure out a way to combine the idea of family history, whether that's interviewing a family member or preserving a favorite recipe or a tradition. I'd be really interested to see what you come up with for your journal inspiration. And if you do share the images, please tag me and include the hashtag Harvest of Memories. Come back again tomorrow. We'll have a complete look at this. You've got some shoestring to put in those eyelets. And we'll work on our next project. Take care of yourself. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.